Hello Year 11 parents, I'm Mrs Townsend here, the Head of English. I'd like to start by showing you the fantastic results our students from last year's. So as you can see on the slide there, we had a record-breaking 96.1% of students achieving a 5+ in language and a record-breaking 92.9% of students achieving a 4+ in literature. For 5+, we were on 85.8 for language and 71.1 for literature. Now, these were record-breaking results, as I've said, for English at Bydales, but I have every faith in the current cohort and hope that they'll be striving to have a record-breaking year again. So, on this slide here, you can see the staff who are part of the Year 11 team in the department. So myself, I teach 11x5. Miss Goodall is the second in English and she teaches 11x1. We have Miss Shallow in the department who's the Senko. She teaches 11x2. Miss Conroy is an associate assistant principal and she teaches 11x6. Mrs Dismore teaches 11x4 for language, whilst Mrs Hunter teaches the same class for literature, and Mrs Jemison teaches 11x3. Our director, Mrs Southall, will be in working with some of your sons and daughters in the coming months. So I'll start by quickly going through what comprises the GCSE English language paper. So it's divided into two sections. We do reading and writing. Reading is worth 50% of the final grade and writing is worth 50%. And within the writing, it's worth noting that 20% of the marks are awarded for spelling, punctuation and grammar, so that is something that we're going to be really tightening up on in the coming months and something that we'll be looking for your support with at home as well. Component 2 for literature is the post-1914 prose and drama. For that we study Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Section B is the 19th century prose, and for that we study A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Section C is unseen poetry. The students will be presented in the exam with 2 poems that they've never seen before. So just to recap there, our literature texts are Lord of the Flies by William Golding, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and 18 poems from our anthology. Students should have copies of all of the texts, and one of their main revision activities should be rereading the texts. In fact, I can't emphasise enough how important that is. Writing is a tricky one for lots of our students, and it's where we see lots of marks, I would say, wasted, because I do think it's things that the students can get right if they put their mind to it. And it's somewhere where support at home can make all the difference. And I've got here a list of things that you can do to support your child at home with the writing, but with the other things as well. So first of all, it'd be really helpful if you could keep a personal spelling log and give them regular tests. So having a look in their planner to see which spellings they've wrote down from lessons that they've been getting wrong. Encourage your son or daughter to read. It doesn't have to be that they sit and read a whole novel at a time. Short stories, news articles, magazines would all be great. It all helps with their vocabulary and technical accuracy. It would be brilliant if you read the novels yourselves. So read the novels we study, have discussions with your son or daughter. It's amazing what you can get out of a novel if you discuss it with somebody else rather than just reading it by yourself. Facilitate your son or daughter's completion of revision tasks for Macbeth. They get 1 per week and they have been issued with a booklet. It would be brilliant if you could check their work weekly and insist that it's of a high standard. Make sure they're doing the task that's in the booklet. There's actually a section in there for you to sign off to say that you've checked it and that it's of an acceptable standard. We will upload copies of that revision booklet to the Google Classroom as well. Encourage your child to have a watch so they can get into the habit of working in a timed situation, so when they're doing revision tasks, for example. And of course, the most important is attendance. They should attend every English lesson and enrichment session as well, but any work that's missed, if you could encourage them to complete it, that would be much appreciated. We get asked a lot about which revision guides parents should buy, but we'll provide the revision guides for your son or daughter when they receive the revision goodie bags. And there are lots more revision materials that we issue over the course of the year, so there's no need for you to buy any. They can also borrow copies of the set texts from the English department if they need them. And please don't buy English language revision guides, okay? The messages in them are just completely inconsistent with what we get from the exam board, so we completely discourage parents from buying those.